Earlier last week, AEW's social media team went out there and they issued copyright strikes to several YouTubers, some prominent YouTubers, a lot of small channels as well, and also their own AEW games and AEW music channels, like their own channels. They issued copyright strikes, and basically, what a copyright strike is, they shut down the video. Like they claim the video and then they shut it down, and then the YouTuber, the content creator, gets a strike on their channel. And if you get 3 strikes, you're kicked off the platform. So it's a big deal for a lot of these content creators, and there was a lot of controversy about this because there's one big name that got stricken down, and it was Matthew from Botchamania. And one thing we know is Botchamania at this point is kind of like a staple in professional wrestling at this point. Like Matthew is, he's on Botchamania, I think like 433 or something. He's a staple in wrestling. So it's weird to see when you see him getting copyright stricken at this point when he has a relationship with WWE and understanding with AEW and things like that. It's very troublesome. So I think that what happened was they went out there and they just started They started copywriting striking, sorry, rather, all these channels, and it might have been automated. They looks like it was automated because they ended up copyright striking their own games and their own music videos. Like it was crazy. It was insane.
It's
So
Sammy Guevara too, right?
what?
Sammy Guevara as well, right?
Yeah, Sammy Guevara got copyright stricken as well. It was not great. It was not great, and it's not a good look for them. A lot of fans were complaining about this. A lot of YouTubers were complaining about this, saying that it's not good for the product. It's not good for wrestling because a lot of these people, they want to cover AEW, but the thing is you can't like cut their legs out from under them. Otherwise, the product is gonna get. People aren't going to be talking about it. That's part of the reason we do this. Like, we want to
Yeah.
talk about wrestling. We want other people to potentially, like, find AEW as a good product and maybe watch it as well. Or WWE, whatever, right? And the thing is, so the controversy is this. Like, AEW at this point, they never explicitly made it clear, right? What was okay and what wasn't. It was kind of like this limbo, the state of limbo. Like they were like, oh well, you know what? We're gonna let our fans do whatever. They can make gifts, they can make video, whatever, right? And like that was the mentality for a long time. Now it's kind of changed with all of this stuff, and fans are upset. They don't know, can we use videos? Can we use like photos? Even like that's one of the reasons I was kind of like going back through my channel and looking at videos as well. To make sure we were all good there. But Trevor, what is this? What do you make of this? Is AEW wrong for this? Like, what's the perception for this? Like, as far as they go.
This doesn't make sense to me. I mean, and I can't, in good conscience, think that it actually makes sense to them either. Because, like you said, to me, it's got to be one of those automated things. Because, like you said, they're doing their game channel music. They also did one of their own talents. Like that doesn't make any sense at all. Like like you said, this is a platform where people come to talk about wrestling. And I mean, a lot of people nowadays are kind of like, I mean, like me and you, when we first started doing this, we talked about wrestling. It's like, you watch wrestling, right? Like, kind of. Like, a lot of people don't really admit to liking wrestling because the product in the mainstream, which mainstream being WWE, is kind of garbage. So a
Kind of.
lot of people are kind of embarrassed to even say, "Yeah, I'm a wrestling fan," and it sucks. But when you have um, federation corporations like AEW, it felt good to say, "Hey, I'm a wrestling fan." Even with NXT, "Hey, I'm a wrestling fan." In New Japan and all the other promotions that do it so much, you're like, "I'm a wrestling fan." But when one like new kid on the block being AEW, and it's still a new kid, even though it's like 2 years old, comes out and then starts copyrighting YouTubers who are pretty much praising it or not praising it, but giving it kudos where they can, and pretty much promoting their product. It doesn't really make a lot of sense why you would copy strike. So I mean, that's kind of taken away from your promotion.
I agree. I agree. And for those of you who are wondering, like, what is copyright strikeable, or what is good and what isn't allowed, I think the basic rule of thumb at this point is videos and pictures, like screen grabs from the TNT product or the
Right.
TNT broadcast, are probably a no-no. What seems to be permissible at this point are photos that AEW puts out, like by themselves on their website of events. So that might be like a bit of a thing that you can work with. And they put out some very good quality photos. That's what I've been using mostly. That's what we've been using here. Like we try not to do the screen grab thing because we got kind of bit in the butt by New Japan by it. Thank you,
Yeah.
TV Asahi, for that. Um, yeah, my God, and like that's the other thing. We talked about this basically like 3 weeks ago too. We're like, New Japan is striking. They have a reputation. New Japan has a huge reputation of striking down any talk of their channel or of their product on any channel. Like they even they even gave out copyright strikes to like Cultaholic and What Culture. Like these huge like big channels, my guy. Like they gave out these copyright strikes to all these big channels, and so it's like it's got to a point where no one wants to even talk about New Japan. Like legitimately, people who cover wrestling, they don't talk that much about New Japan because they're gonna get copyright stricken. And what's the point of doing this, right? When you built up a lot of followers, you built up all these subscribers who want to listen to you. If your entire platform is taken away from you and you can't talk about the product, it's going to make you less interested in the product, and it's going to make the people who listen to those people less interested in the product because they're going to see is like, oh wow, this company doesn't even want people talking about it. So it's dumb, in my opinion. It's very dumb. It's misguided. And one thing is like we saw that Aubrey Edwards, who's like she's part of the executive team of AEW that's kind of like dealing with this right now. She tweeted at Matthew saying that they're dealing with the issue. They're trying to get it fixed. So they've been apparently pretty respondent to people and YouTubers who've been complaining. There's still some smaller channels who are dealing with strikes, who are dealing with not knowing what's going on. They're facing termination, which, for smaller channels, that's a big deal, especially when you built up a base. And it's come to the point where I think AEW, they at least need to put out a statement and acknowledge this and lay out what is good and what is not. Like, explicitly say it. Like, I think that's a very easy thing to do. If you want, like, if you don't want people using videos, that's fine. But let them know, don't use videos. If you don't just say, like, we're gonna, like, pick and choose, or don't just say, like, oh, you can't use, or we're not gonna say anything. You'll deal with the consequences if they happen. Like, that's not a good place to put content creators. Not a good place to put fans who want to talk about the product. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.